Scientists show that water has memory, and this is from a new groundbreaking discovery. It's been made within the most basic of resources. Scientists just discovered what they called the discovery of the millennium and a huge revelation in human consciousness. Scientists from Germany now believe that water has memory. That means that what once was seen as a simple commodity, water that is, H2O, has now been closely examined to reveal a scientific revelation uncovering a mind-blowing truth. By examining individual drops of water at an incredibly high magnification, scientists were able to physically see that each droplet of water has its own individual microscopic pattern, which each distinguishable from the next droplet of water and uniquely beautiful. So every drop of water is different. A scientific experiment was carried out whereby a group of students were all encouraged to obtain one drop of water from the same body of water all at the same time. Through a close examination of the individual droplets, it was seen that each produced different images. A second experiment was then carried out where a real flower was placed into a body of water, and after a while, a sample droplet of the water was taken out for examination. The results produced a mesmerizing pattern when hugely magnified, but all of the droplets of this water looked very similar. When the same experiment was done with a different species of flower, the magnified droplet looked completely different, thereby determining that a particular flower was evident in each droplet of water. Through the discovery, which shows that water has a memory, according to scientists, a new perception of water can be found. The German scientists believe that as water travels, it picks up and stores information from all of the places that it has traveled through, which can thereby connect people to a lot of different places and sources of information when they drink this water, depending on the journey that the water has been on. This has even been compared to the human body, of which each is incredibly unique and has an individual DNA unlike any other. Whilst the human body is made up of 70% water, conclusions could be drawn from these new discoveries that human tears could hold a unique memory of an individual being through the body's store of water, hosting a complete store of information that's linked to individual experience, the tears of the human, suggesting that everyone is globally connected by the water in the human body, which travels through ongoing journeys, whereby information along the way is always stored. So, if human thought can do this to the water, just imagine what it can do to us. So water has memory, and the scientific proof from Oasis HD channel. Dr. Jacques Benveniste discovered that certain scientific properties of water, properties cannot be explained by conventional physics. He calls this particular brand of science digital biology, and to note, other scientists have duplicated his experiments. And here are the tenets of his discovery. When a substance is diluted in water, the water can carry the memory of that substance even after it has been so diluted that none of the molecules of the original substance remain. And 2, the molecules of any given substance have a spectrum of frequencies that can be digitally recorded with a computer, then played back into untreated water using an electronic transducer. And when that's done, the new water will act as if the actual substance were physically present. Dr. Jacques Benveniste, lived from 1935 to 2004, had proved something quite controversial, which gives concrete evidence to support homeopathy. He reportedly compared himself with Galileo because of his paradigm-breaking research findings. He did not win a Nobel Prize, but instead won not one but 2 of the satirical Ig Nobel Prizes awarded by a gang of Harvard scientists, the 1991 Chemistry Prize for showing that water has memory, and the 1998 prize for a paper showing that this information can be transmitted over telephone lines and even the internet. Controversy aside, if you think about these findings for a minute, you may become shocked. Water holds a memory that we can digitally record. and we're able to digitally rewrite other water even when the substance is no longer in it. We have put countless things in our water and supposedly removed them. Right now there are pharmaceuticals among other things in the water which no water treatment plant has ever designed to remove, and our water is holding this in its memory. Our body starts out comprising 80% water when you're born, and when many people die, they're at 50% water. And now it may seem pretty simplistic to point to water as a source of aging, but proper hydration is needed for fat metabolism, to remove waste from cells, and to keep your brain healthy as well. We also use water for transporting nutrients and wastes, lubrication, temperature regulation, and tissue structure maintenance. It's also important to know that 48% of older adults admitted to emergency rooms had laboratory values indicative of dehydration. Now, we are all best off drinking clean, pure water. It keeps us hydrated and our body and mind function at their best. And knowing that water has a memory is the best. It is best if we all do our share to keep our water clean. It involves not only what we put into the wastewater systems, but also what we put into our bodies. The miracle of water, the yin and yang. We all have the experience of rejuvenation joy on vibrant spring day when the sap is rising in the plants, tree buds are bursting with new life. Water is the very heart of life creation, and sitting by a waterfall or on the rock of the edge of the ocean on a sunny day, one can feel the energy of the water in our body, and water is closely linked to our emotions as well. There is a strong resonance of water with humans. Our ancestors were fascinated by its magic, and there is a vast mythology linked to water. Water carries all life, but water is beyond time because it bears in its flow the seeds of future life as well as the memory of past life. Water mediates between life and death, between being and not being, between health and sickness. We have lost touch with the magic of water and the freshness of the mountain spring, the reflection of a mountain lake, the mystery of the sacred well. Just like we just take for granted the water will come up and at the turn of the tap. We've allowed water to spread illness and disease, much spoken these days of the destructive nature of water. Such water is nature on the rampage, perhaps showing who's boss at a time when humanity has wrought so much reckless damage to Earth's ecosystems and the natural environment. Now, it seems as if water was intended for life. Certainly life could not have come without it. Water is found throughout the universe, though seldom as liquid, which requires a relatively narrow temperature band with which our Earth provides. The poet and philosopher, scientist Johann Wolfgang von Goethe was, more than anyone, a bridge between pre- and post-Enlightenment thinking. He sensed a profound difference in outlook between the new rational, mechanistic, and more exclusive worldview and the more traditional, inclusive, nature-centered view. He called the latter holistic science in contrast to reductionist science, and Goethe understood that all life is one, closely interconnected, interrelated, with water as a very symbol of holism, with its role in the sustenance of life. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.